Hi there, today we're going to tell you how to maintain your chain. The chain is the most important part of the bike, and keeping it clean and well lubricated is an essential part of your bike maintenance.
The chain itself comes in contact with the rear cassette, rear derailleur, jockey wheels, front chain rings and front derailleur, so keeping it clean will prolong the life of all these other parts.
Not only will a clean chain prolong the parts around the rest of the bike, but it will also help you ride faster, as the clean chain will run smoothly through the whole drivetrain. Firstly, we're going to show you how to keep the chain clean, and we're going to give you a quick guide as to how to clean it after every ride.
When it comes to what to use for cleaning the chain, there's lots of different products out there. We recommend using something that's relatively bike specific. Anything else may actually wear the parts out faster or clog the chain up. We're going to use GT85 in order to clean it, a rag following the GT85, and then after that a bike specific lube. What I'm going to do to start is I'm going to take the GT85 with the nozzle and I'm going to spray it on the inside of the chain like so, as I pedal it backwards so that it can penetrate into all of the links. Once I've done that, I'm going to take my rag and I'm going to first clean top and bottom of the chain. So I'm going to hold either side of the chain, pedaling it backwards to avoid catching my hand in the wheel. I'm just going to run it through the rag several times. Once I've done that, I'm going to shift my grip so that I'm on the inside and the outside of each link to make sure these are nice and clean. Once I've done that in one position on the rag, just going to move to a cleaner part of the rag and do the same again to make sure that it's A, clean, and B, dry.
So, that's a nice quick way to clean your chain after every ride. Whilst this is a nice thing to do after every ride, we'd also recommend that once a week or so, dependent on your mileage, you give the chain a more thorough clean using a specific cleaning tool or a set of brushes. So, now we've got the bike chain nice and clean, we're going to show you how to lubricate the chain. It's really important to keep the chain lubricated, as if you run a dry chain, it's just going to grind away at the rest of the components, which is going to cost you a lot of money down your local bike shop when you have to go and replace them.
To lubricate the chain this time, we're using a wax-based lube. This is great for dry conditions as it's really clean and won't gather other dirt. It's also perfect if you keep your chain nice and clean. If you don't, you might consider using another form of bike lubricant. The most important part of the bike chain to lubricate is the inside of the links, not the outside, but the inside. So what we're going to do is I'm going to first shake my wax lube, and then as I'm rotating the chain backwards, I'm just going to apply drips as the chain goes through it, like that. Take it around a couple of times to make sure the inside of the chain is nicely coated. And then once you've done that, so that we apply the lubricant to all the chain rings, we're just going to shift quickly through the bike gears itself, giving the chain enough time to run on each cog to make sure there's lube on those. Once I've taken the chain around all of the cogs, I can then gently grip the inside and the outside. So these are the face plates of the chain, just to take off any excess lubricant.
So, whilst keeping your chain well lubricated is absolutely essential, it's important to remember that you should only ever do it once your chain is clean. Also, it's important to remember that less is more when you're applying the lube. If you put on too much lube, you're just going to make the rest of the drivetrain dirty, and that will reduce its life. So lastly, we're going to show you how to check your chain for wear.
In order to check how worn your chain is, you'll need a chain checking tool. In this one, we're using a simple hinged one in the middle. In order to check how stretched your chain is, on this device you simply insert one end into the chain like so, and you look for the next link that the arm fits easily into. We drop the chain tool onto the chain like so, and we check how much gap there is between the tool and the chain. In this chain, it's perfect. The tool is nicely tented. If the chain was stretched, however, this end and the chain tool itself would sit closer to the chain like that. If this is the case, you need to get your chain replaced.
If you keep riding on a worn chain, you're simply going to wear away the rest of your drivetrain, which is going to cost you a lot of money to replace. If you look after your chain effectively, you should get through about 3 chains before you need to replace the rear cassettes or the front chain rings. So that's a basic guide as to how to maintain your chain. And remember, there's no excuses for a dirty or dry chain.